Just in this little area here, we've got a bit of sort of wild scrubby land. It seems to be filled with gorse and lupin. One of the things about New Zealand is New Zealand has completely different plants than pretty much everywhere else in the world. And when European settlers came in, they had an acclimatization board, and their goal was to try and bring all of the foreign plants and animals in, or many foreign plants and animals, to make this country seem more like their old countries that they had left, which is a bit of a shame because they ended up filling up the country with all these quite invasive plants which just persist in annoying us. One thing that's interesting about gorse, however, is that actually if you do nothing with it, it becomes a good nursery for native plants to grow in. So because a lot of our native trees, as you can see in the background, they grow much taller than gorse does. So if you do nothing, seeds that have been in the ground for many decades, plus seeds that are brought in by birds or by floodwater, will grow amongst the gorse. And then as the trees grow, they'll grow being protected by the gorse at first, and then once they get taller than the gorse, they'll shade out the gorse. So if you do kind of nothing, New Zealand trees will get over some of these annoying plants like gorse and lupin. So I'm not sure what they're doing in this area. It doesn't really look like they're doing anything special. In comparison, you can see along the sides of the expressway here, they've planted lots of plants that are New Zealand native, and these are going to inhabit the area and grow and help provide a bit of erosion and noise protection for the locals. So here's some of that gorse I was talking about before. You can see that it provides a good nursery for spiders. There's quite a few of these spider nurseries here, but you can actually see there's some native trees growing amongst the gorse. So these native trees, as they get taller, they're going to outcompete the gorse, and they'll be good. I'm not sure why this gorse here is apparently dead, sort of dried off. It might be just because it's summer, but it might have been that they might have sprayed some of the gorse along the edge of the cycle path here. Since I was talking about invasive species like gorse, I think invasive species is actually a technical term, so might want to moderate that. We have this one, blackberry. There's a lot of blackberry growing around the Kapiti area as well, spread by birds, and it seems to grow really well in the soil around here. One advantage is that you can go and pick the blackberries in the summer and make lots of delicious blackberry things. But on the other hand, we've got some other annoying things. So we've got this, just right at the bottom of the picture, there's some quite broad leaves which are these sort of heart-shaped green leaves, which is convolvulus. It has the pink flower that you can see about in the middle of the picture. Convolvulus is quite horrible because it seems to travel down waterways, but also it spreads across the land. Because it's a growing vine like the blackberry, it just grows over everything. So convolvulus will strangle other plants in the area. So if you have convolvulus on your property, you've got to keep it under control. I think that convolvulus can be eaten by perhaps cattle and sheep, which is, one saving grace. Here's some wild fennel. So wild fennel seems to grow in a lot of places in New Zealand as well. It's got a really interesting fragrant smell. It's related to the fennel that people use in various types of cooking, but I don't know if wild fennel is edible. It has a really strong fragrance, so it probably has a ridiculously strong flavour. Someone might be able to explain more about wild fennel in comments. Thanks. I don't know what this plant is called, but it's pretty common around the area as well. I've seen quite a lot of it. It has these green sort of seed spikes that grow up, and then they grow into these sort of deep red, kind of blackberry colour fruit. So that's interesting. I don't know anything really much about this plant. Well, here's my first walk over the footbridge. It's come out pretty hot and sunny now. You can see the highway down there, and nice architectural style of the footbridge.